Hi everybody, thank you for coming to my channel. This is Wendy, and today I have the Scrap Challenge journal, uh, Scrappy Junk Journal. It's very junky and very scrappy. I did finish it. It turned out to be about 6 by 9.5, and it's got a gator mouth, and so it is about 4.5 just sitting there open. What I did for the cover, I added a collage pocket. It's stitched with scrappy bits of paper. You guys can see that. And these were random stickers I had. I just figured whoever gets this, they can use those. It has a fabric covered spine, and then the back, just a nice back with a little saying on it. Let me just warn you guys now, I used every scrap I have around me. I don't have any more scraps. I had to even hopefully check my mailbox for a mailer or something because I used it all. I thought I had more than what I did, but I didn't. So here is the first page. This is a magazine pocket, and this was a cut off from a folder, and I just kind of junked it up, made random journaling spots, and you'll see a lot of places to write throughout this journal. Like I'll put random spots here, and I was using up these because I have a whole stack of these I've been wanting to get rid of, is those index cards. All the little notebooks are scrap pieces of paper and just stuff I've put together. And let's see here. A lot of my tags from old mailers are cut up pieces, and I just collaged what I could and just made journaling cards. I didn't make anything to look pretty. I didn't frame and cover it all fully with papers because I didn't want to get into my full sheets of paper. The whole point was to use up the scraps, and that's what I did. And I kind of had to just kept telling myself, it's okay if it doesn't match. Just throw it in there. So I had these. This is just a little fun circle. Let me try to stay in frame here. I made random clusters. This was like the only piece of paper I had that was like a full square that had already lines on it. So I put random words that I had. Hopefully they make sense throughout. Lots of places to write. Journaling cards. Out of just fun journaling cards. This one was, this is probably my favorite because these were scraps and I sewed them together. And of course, it was the right thing. And then I added lines to the back. If you see it, it's torn. Like I said, I didn't make it pretty, but in its own way, I think it is. And this is from an old envelope, as well as this is an envelope, and I made a little spot. I covered it randomly with bits and pieces of paper I had that normally I would throw away, and I'm just like, nope, I'll just glue it down. So this is a little notebook again. I have lots of these little notebooks because they make great spots, and this is out of magazine. And this was a little fold out, and I inked it, but see, these were all torn pieces. I didn't pre-do this. This was already done, and I'm like, I'm gonna use them. This is a magazine pocket, and all of these are note cards made out of different mail that I had. This one I actually just put a strip down. So I thought, every little bit can be wrote on or drawn on. So here is just a rant. They're just no rhyme or reason. I kind of just got out of my headspace and just started adding stuff to it. This old receipt. This is another little note card I made out of a mail. Just adding random bits of scraps to a little piece of paper, you know. So I had this bow and I finally glued it and got it in there. Those little bits of pieces that you would normally throw away, I just collaged it and made a writing spot, and I'm like, yeah, why not? You know? So there's the envelope without the window. If you've seen my previous one, you know I used the window already and I had this. So I just attached this corner with some note paper. This is probably the prettiest paper in here. It's a full sheet. I thought either somebody can do something with it or use it as lettering paper. So I added that. And all these papers that I've used in previous projects that I cut off of, I didn't straighten it or nothing. I just left that the way it is because I think it just gives it the junky feel. I finished the note, one of these. It was in my scrap pile. I never finished it. And finally I'm just like, okay, let's make a little, you know, little note spots out of it. All right. Here's out of a file folder, random cluster. I left, this was a strip of paper. I just left it like it was and added some stamping and another part of a magazine. And there you go. So more spots. See, there's more places in here. Whoever gets this, there's plenty of places in here for them to add their decorations and junk it up even more. I mean, I even went so far as to just add a piece of scrap to paper. Just like, I didn't throw away any scraps. I'm so proud of myself. All right, here's the other little sheet of paper. I just saved it and stuck it in here. This is I put a band in. Okay, that was the first signature. Here is the second one. I added a big gnarly flower to the cover. Magazine pocket with a card. Notebook paper. This is writing spots and tuck spots. At this point, I was really spreading out my scraps and where to put them at. So that's a journaling card with a belly band. Receipt. I just stapled this on here. I mean, it's a blank. Probably can rip it off because it's on a little, you know, a magazine flip. So I'm just like, leave that there. These are little notes. I had these little scrap pieces of square. I just sewed around it and added a stamp and voila, places to write. There's this page. This was cut off from a envelope, business envelope, and I just turned it into a full-size page band. So here's this. Okay, so this is a journaling card on this side. This, I added a tuck for old lettering paper, and it goes just like this. And I just slide it right there. It stays there. And on this side, there's more places to write. This can be moved. And this is a card to write on with some more paper. I used up every bit. I used one washi tape throughout because I was going to use it up. It was kind of like using up my scraps. Let's use up one washi tape that I had. So here we go. This is actually from the cereal box that I used for the cover. I just left it alone and, you know, let somebody use it as a bookmark or whatever. You can write in here. I left these blank. Those are from book pages. That's random pages. This was an envelope. I just slit the flap, glued it on. So there's a pocket here with a note card, and then a pocket here with a notepad, a little matchbook notepad. And then this envelope is actually a big pocket like this. And then the scraps I had left over, I stuck in here. These are the scraps I had left over. And I thought, well, somebody else can figure out, oh, and then there's some scrap paper. Somebody else can figure out how to add scraps in it. And I just left it like that. Note spot, oh, and here is, I glued that in just a while ago, is the last tuck spot. Let me get that in. And a journaling spot back there. And this is a pocket. Oh, here's another journaling journaling spot I made. And see the random torn book pages? I just glued them on because you can still write on all this. So, and then this, I just slip in here and I let it hang over because I like the little hangover. So, spots to write. There's a pocket, and this is another bunch of note paper. And I think I left this by itself. Oh, this was another envelope I covered, and it's a pocket. And I made this, I got a Joann's mailer in. I'm like, you know what? I'll just use up the other random bits of scraps I have. And I turned it into a really janky notebook, drawing pad, whatever. I'm like, okay, so that goes right in there. And that's it. That's the flip through. I probably have some scrap fabric that I use throughout. It'll probably be this that I'll use to tie around it. That's it. It was harder than what I thought because you really had to stop thinking and just throw stuff in here. So this is the scrap challenge junk journal. Let me know what you think. If you guys do this, please share so I can see what you guys come up with. You guys have a good day. Thanks.